Hi, everybody. Greetings, 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 greetings. Greetings, everybody. No. Oh, I have to sneeze. Hold up. And I'm back. For those of you that are tuning in, y'all know who it is. It's none other than Darcell, Andre. I'm a holistic and esoteric teacher. And welcome to Ask a Spiritualist, where you get to ask your questions about spirituality, and I give you the answers to those questions in as long as it's within my scope. I will. Hi. Hello. Greetings. Greetings, everybody. Hi. You love the yellow ambiance. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Jax. How are you? Do I believe in unicorns? I have no opinion on unicorns, honestly. I don't. Hi, Alexis. I don't have an opinion on unicorns. I don't have an opinion on that. Greetings. Hey, Bluebirdie9. Hi. Hey, Sean Finley. Hi, Lena. Hi, everybody. Happy to see y'all. I'm good. How are you? I'm doing well. I am doing well. I'm doing well. For those of you that are tuning in, this is Ask a Spiritualist. So you get to ask your good old spiritual questions, honey. And I can give you some insight on it. Now, this is educational. These are not readings. Educational. Hi, Jay Stewart. Hi, Nikita. I don't plan to be on long, but I felt led to do this. So this is what I'm here to do. Got you. Thank you, Gabe. I'm doing well. You know, I've been my good old juicing. My good old juicing has been working wonders. Feel great. Never felt better. Everything's good. And put do not disturb on. So someone would text me and message me. Oh, you like the yellow? Thank you. Thank you so much. Your skin is going. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, here we go. Almost missed it. Tiara asked, how can you tell that you are going through a spiritual shift? You know, I've heard that phraseology used a lot, you know, shifting. It really just depends on what do you mean by that, you know. Spiritual shift could be elevation, it could be a transitional period ready to move on to the next part of your spiritual life or your spiritual expression. I would say that any point in time where hey Afro spiritual, any point in time where one people and things start not to resonate anymore, but you know that you're doing well, right? But certain things start not to, you know, do it for you anymore, and you feel yourself being pulled in a different direction, and you're getting the signs and the numbers, and it's like a ridiculous amount of signs and things like that. But you know, so that happens. That's evidence of that happening. But also, if you are constantly in touch with your spiritual team or with your ancestors, um, that energy always tells you when this time for elevation. A lot of times in spiritual shiftings, your abilities get intense, your dreams get intense. Um, all of that gets intense. It just gets intense. Okay. And you can sometimes feel energetically overwhelmed or feel like you have a lot of energy. And a lot of that tends to be evidence of a spiritual shifting or elevation happening. hmm As someone who is new to the spirituality community and new to the Lighthouse community, I was wondering which of your videos should I start with? Yes, I need to, you know what? That's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to put together that between tonight and tomorrow. I've been needing to do this, and I'm going to do it for especially for those that are in the Lighthouse Patreon. I need to make like a fact sheet, if you will, with like links and things to like the different courses and things that we've taught throughout, so you don't have to keep scrolling. So that's what I'm going to do to help you out with that. I have a sudden urge to be completely alone, emotional, and urges to just worship and show gratitude. Oh, well, there you go. That same thing about people falling off or people no longer resonating with you in that way. It's all of that. Mhm. I'm just starting and I'm already overwhelmed where to start really. I always say this, you got to start with the mind, honestly. That's exactly what I say. You start with the mind. You start with mindfulness and understanding mindfulness and how to be in alignment with self and how to keep your mind centered and together, because a lot of the different spiritual content creators or spiritual practices, just because you are just now starting, you may stumble across their videos and they're talking about hopping into the 5D and quantum jumping and all of these different things. And if you start there, that will definitely overwhelm you because we don't have the basis yet. So I would suggest start with learning the universal principles, and how they all work, okay? And how that shows up. Go from that to learning mindfulness. That's what I would say. Or you could do that simultaneously. Bishop asks me, now what are your beliefs, buddy? Not buddy. I don't know, Bishop. I gotta wait to respond to you. That seemed like you got a little, you seem like you're preparing to be condemning. I'm not sure if you're genuinely asking. But I'll go ahead and answer that. What I believe is in the power of oneness. I believe um, that is all that there is, that is connective to everything. I believe in the divine feminine energy. I believe in the cosmic mother energy. I believe that everything is all connected. I believe in the universal principles. I believe that we are all speaking the same language. You just may call it one thing and I call it the other. And underneath that belief, my entire basis of my teaching and how I show up in the world is that universe, one word, trying to find the universe between your belief and mine. And if I can find the universe between you and me, we could get along and speak on the same things and elevate and grow together. That's what I believe. hmm I heard that you are friends with ex-pastor Vanessa R. Brooks. I was on her live and I prayed for her. You heard that I was? How did you hear that? I must have commented or something. She shouted me out. I never heard of all this stuff you talking about. I was raised in church for a generations church. Okay, got you. Well, if you stick around, you may be able to learn something different, that is. Sometimes, especially when we come from church, we are taught that this is the only belief that's possible. And the more that you sit and you listen and you converse and engage with people, the better that you understand that God, the divine, the universe, the spirit is in everything. You just got to seek and find that. I'm moving soon, and I was wondering, other than smoke cleanses, what's another way to get rid of negative energy? Yeah, out and to gain protection. Yeah, you can do a cleanse. I always say this: you could get some water, some lemons. Hey, y'all. Hey, Georgiana. Hey, Sasha. Hey, Cheverly. You could get some lemons, some water. Okay. Some I can't think. Oh, some white vinegar. Okay. And you make a wash, you speak life over that wash. You can charge that up with a white candle. Place a white candle in the middle of that, and charge it up and pray over it. Speak life into it, speak your intentions. Take that, use it as a floor wash, or use it to mop the space to clear the energy. Vinegar is a negative energy banisher. Okay. You can also put some ammonia in there as well. Ammonia does the same thing and banishes or removes negative energy. You wash the floors, mop the floors. You can wash the doorways. Okay. Any entryway into the house, including the window sills. And then you can take some salt and line the windows and line the doorways and all of that. You can actually make a salt mixture of some salt, some black pepper, and some cayenne pepper for protection, and line the doorways underneath the doormat, the window frames, all of that. You can do that. And it's really about praying your attention. Bishop says, "You're so much nicer than Vanessa. I don't got Well, I appreciate that, Bishop. I am not, I'm telling you. You're not, you she is passionate. She speaks how she speaks. So that's that. But I'm glad that if you stick around here, you could receive something. I'm all for that. She's very direct. That's what she is. I don't know about rude, but she's direct. But if that's how you perceived her, then I understand. But I'm glad you're here. Hey, I hope not the I can't why this turn my it keeps turning my background to the Mona Lisa. Not the Mona Lisa. Nikki says, didn't want to ask anything. The reading you gave me, I want to thank you. Thank you, Nikki. I'm glad that it resonated with you. Right, Danielle. Oh, they say because I'm a masterpiece. That's why I'm talking on the clock app. Just so y'all know, I'm live on the clock app and I'm live on the tube of you. Mm-hmm. I know. I say y'all gonna stop turning my background to the Mona Lisa. Hey, hope all is well with you. Question: why do people say they have died and went to hell or heaven? Um, because consciousness exists and the brain exists, and the brain is whatever, if you believe that there is a heaven and a hell that you can end up in. A lot of times when people have near death experiences and they see certain things, well, it's a near death experience, right? So the brain has its beliefs and things attached to it. Okay. So what it's essentially in the same way that dreams and things um can be influenced by the things you do in the day and why by what you believe. It works in that same way. So it's not necessarily that they went to hell or heaven, as it would need to be real for that to happen. And that's not real in that way. I need to book a session, but I love our Patreon group. Okay. Right. Kim Willis says, my reading was so on point. One thing you told me has already happened. Really, Kim? Oh, Kim, I love an update, Kim. Kim, you may have to send me a message, Kim, so I can see what you're talking about. Oh. Kim Willis says, yes, happened the next day. Not it happened the next day. How do you avoid a lack mindset? Oh, I love that question. The lack mindset. The lack mindset comes from what is considered the scarcity principle. Okay? The scarcity principle is when you think that there is not enough of something or that things are running out. An example, you think that you're never going to find a relationship partner because you see people with relationships and you're like, dang, that's another good one. There's not enough for me. And, or, you want to start a business, but you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many businesses like that. There's so many things like that, So that's essentially what that is, right? So the scarcity principle is the belief that, things are running out. There's not enough for you. So how do you get out of that lack energy? Is one, you have to change and identify the thought process. The thought is that things are running out for you. Why do you think that? Why are we operating in this fear energy? Because that's what it really is. You can turn that around with daily affirmations that state the opposite. Because the thing is that you cannot miss what is for you, period. And we got to truly understand that. You cannot miss what is for you. Can't miss it. Can't miss it. It is impossible, nor can you exit out of this life without completing what it is that you need to do in this physical form in this life. You can't exit. So if that's what you need to tell yourself every day, that's what you need to tell yourself every day. You can't exit. You can't miss it. It's impossible. It's impossible. Now you could do some stuff, honey, that just delays it because that's what happens. So there. That's that. Keep affirming to yourself, hey, listen, things are not running out for me. I can't miss what's for me. It's impossible to do that. Therefore, and also we have to understand too, the mind is very powerful. So what it is that you say psychologically, because this is a mind issue, the lack or scarcity principle, that all has to do with the mind. That's not spiritual. So the mind is powerful. So what it is that you say consciously, your subconscious records that and starts to act that out and show that, show that in life. You start to pay attention to certain things. When you say, I ain't never gonna find anybody, everybody is, men, women, people are all terrible, all this stuff. Okay. So then what happens is your subconscious records that and then starts to see those behaviors in everybody. People could come up and be absolutely great for you. But because you've already told yourself that every single man you meet, every single relationship you have is going to be terrible. Okay. So that's exactly what you're going to see. A made up mind is very powerful. Very powerful. Hey, Mama Sunfire, greetings. SD Perry asks, do you believe everyone has some type of spiritual gift? If so, how do you recognize, develop, or trust it? Absolutely. Everyone has intuition, period. That is a spiritual ability. To get information from the spirit via a feeling in the body, be it a image that comes to your mind, be it something that you hear or something that you just know. Everyone has intuition. So yes to that question. Now, certain people's abilities can be more stronger and or specific than others. In the sense that for me, and pin comments and questions. How do I do that? I don't know how to do that, Jax. How do I manage moderator access? Oh, boom. I just did it. As for me, like when I'm doing readings or things like that, clairvoyance is really the main thing that shows up. Clairvoyance and claircognizance, where I see images and things, and it's always different. Everyone has different ways of seeing it, but for me specifically, the spirit shows me places, people, or things, and everything that they show me has a meaning that claircognizantly I have to decipher that and give that information back. Um, Everyone has it different. There are different levels and degrees. One thing that I think we mess up on is that we watch movies, right? And we think that it's going to happen so cinematically. You know, we're afraid to talk to our ancestors because we think that the ancestors, honey, are going to appear in the corner, standing there looking at you. And that does not happen like that. It's more so like, you ever been daydreaming? And or rather not, it's more so it can be like this. If you ever daydreamed where you're sitting here looking at everything, but you're not, you're really paying attention or seeing whatever you see in your mind, not necessarily what's out here. So it shows up that way. Now, people who have spiritual abilities, strong spiritual abilities, you always have that thing of, I knew that they were going to say that, and then they said it. Or I kept seeing this image of a wedding ring, and then there was a marriage that happened right in front of me, right? Or I keep hearing this song, you know, I don't know what song this is. And then you go into the store and that's a song that's playing, and it's like, what? Okay. Or you just pick up on certain things. You look at someone, a picture of someone, and you're like, they just, I don't know, I don't get a bad feeling about this person. You know, it happens that way. It can happen in so many ways, right? The best way to do is to learn about the different spiritual gifts, period, spiritual abilities, period, so you know what to look out for. But that also requires a self-study, right? You have to be aware within yourself to figure out what keeps happening. Do I see things? Do I hear things? Do I feel physical sensations that, you know, doesn't really belong to me? So I would say, as a self-study, be present with yourself and the things. For instance, the reason why you ask that question probably has to do with the fact that you've been having some experiences, right? And you develop that trust. To the other point is, you get you a tool, honey, some cards, a pendulum, or whatever, and you Do your prayer, do your meditation, and you ask your spirit team, because it's your spirit team that is communicating to you clear cognizant, what the, wait a minute, let me get my words right. Clear cognizantly, thank you, or clairvoyantly, or clairsentiently, it's your spirit team that's communicating to you in that way. So get you a pendulum, get you some cards, and ask some questions and develop that trusting relationship in that way. Okay? So someone asks to this same point, so I know spirit is communicating with me, but I struggle with deciphering the message. Right. Okay. So this is where you need to get a tool. You need to get a tool. And they are with you in real time. They're with you in real time. It's not like, when they send you that message, that's it, and they can't give you no clarification. One easy way is, for instance, like I said, with cards, that's the benefit of tools, right? If the spirit keeps showing you a symbol or showing you a situation, like, what is this situation about? You get your cards, and you ask your spirit team, call your spirit team in, burn your incense, play your music, and shuffle your cards and ask spirit to give you a clarification on what is happening and what is being said. Right? Write down what it is you think it means, and then use a tool to help you decipher what that message is. Right? If you keep seeing all of this stuff about togetherness and everything, and then as I shuffle, the Four of Wands shows up here, right? The Four of Wands, of course, has to deal with commitments and relationships and things of that nature. So it's like, oh, okay. So is somebody getting ready to like make a commitment with me, or is it showing up because I'm afraid of commitment? And then you can start to decipher the messages in that way. So get a tool. Don't let these people try to tell you that you're not really tapped in. If you don't have tarot card, if you have to use cards, you have to use all these tools. Don't let people tell you that. A tool is a tool. I have a family field, because I almost let that happen to me, where the consensus was kind of negative towards people who use tarot or other types of cards, like you're not really tapped in. Not the case. I have a lineage of card players. My father, who has transitioned, who is really the number one ancestor that helps, guides, and communicates with me, we play cards all day long. So the usage of this card is something, or cards, period, is essential to my lineage. You understand? And so to deny that, because I'm not you, that's not a real way of reading. That is incorrect to do. And it's kind of foolish, because that's also something that's very personal to you. Okay? Maria asked, hi Austin, how are you doing, Austin? Maria asks, do you know why tarot cards are used by people of so many beliefs? Like, what's the importance of tarot cards specifically? So there's an entire history that is astrological, that is based in mysticism, about the different symbologies and things like this within the cards. The reason is that tarot cards incorporate a lot of different systems that is used globally in spirituality, spiritual systems. You will find it's only European origin, but that's made up of so many different types of spirituality and spiritual symbolisms. Okay. Um, so that's one thing. The other thing is that, as I was saying earlier, it's a tool. It's a tool. It's a tool of communication. It's a tool of information. It's a tool. Tarot doesn't have a religion. It's a tool. So you can use it however you want to. You can use it. Whatever you practice, you can use it in that way. Points of tarot cards specifically. Yeah. So it's a lot of good symbolism in it that helps to convey messages. Use your mind to. I don't know anything about it, but okay, I'm going to keep listening to you. To that. Use your mind. Use your mind to. Help me to understand that. What you mean by that? Jax had pinned a comment. Let me see. You're a lot better. Okay, good, Austin. Awesome. That makes me happy to hear. Oh, you asked me the best way to cleanse the energy in your home. I talked about this a little bit earlier. I know you came in late, but I talked about this earlier. I would say get you some incense of some sort. Copal is great. Cedar is great. Frankincense, well, frankincense is good. There are different sages and things to use to cleanse the energy in your space. Um, White candles for cleansing and purifying. I said earlier, mixture of water, white vinegar, and lemon. Okay, use that as a floor wash and wash your doorways and all of that. Open the windows up when you are using your incense smoke to cleanse and clear the space, for whatever's in here to go out. And then you want to seal the space with salt around the perimeter and or a mixture of something like I said, cayenne pepper and black pepper. All of that is about protection and banishing negative energy. You're ready for my deck of cards? I know I'm ready too. I'm ready for that too. People always say you can make a recipe with it. You can make a candle with that. Yes, you can, Kia. People always say do your shadow work, but don't elaborate. Can you? Yeah. Shadow work is also one of those things where it's been such a trendy phraseology, been so trendy. Um, However, they do tend to gloss over that. What shadow work essentially is bringing into the light what has been in the dark, as far as your consciousness and understanding about your childhood, about how you deal with relationships, about your traumas. It's about bringing all of those things that we have either purposely pushed away, or the things that we've naturally pushed away, and bringing that to the light and examining those things. The shadow work is truly, if you think biblically, Genesis, was darkness first and then it was light. So it's about looking at the origin and the genesis of things and deciphering why you are the way that you are and why you struggle or succeed at the things that you struggle. An example of that would be like, again, an example. This is not true for me, but I have a hard time um, dealing with authority. People trying to tell me what to do, right? Or I am someone that is always late, and I get there when I get there. Okay, what is that about? Because time has to do with control, right? It's a certain time you need to be there. That's authority. You have an issue with authority. You don't like power. What is the problem with authority? Where in my life have I had challenges with authority? I go back and I look and I think and I reflect and I'm like, oh, well, that is because growing up, dealing with abuse, the authority figures that were supposed to protect me did not. So them trying to tell me what to do now, it doesn't work well with me. Wow. So now I got to unpack that, because the issue I have with authority in my adult life has everything to do with the neglect I experience from authority in my childhood life. Okay? That's shadow work. And then you're like, wow, that is wild how that connects and how that does this, that, and the third. That is wild to me, right? And so then you would then say, okay, so now I need to work on this deciphering the difference, because today in 2023, these people are not my abusive, neglectful parents. Those are not those people. So I need to check myself in real time to know that when people tell me what to do or tell me to be somewhere at a specific time, that has everything to do with if I feel upset or offended, that don't have nothing to do with them. That has everything to do with that. And we are here, not there. So let me breathe in and listen. That's shadow work, baby. That's how you do shadow work. It's looking at the origins. Hey, Tracy, greetings. Yes, you're already doing shadow work. Absolutely. And also, shadow work is not always so dark and bad. That's why I hesitate when we use the term shadow. I don't like necessarily using that because people feel as though it's just like a dark, hard thing. And it can be difficult, but it's the origins of all things. Why are you someone who is so independent and so good at managing money? Yeah, I'm good at managing money because I grew up impoverished and, I didn't want, okay, so now you know that the humble beginnings was actually something beneficial for you. That's shadow work. Wow, I didn't even realize that. That's shadow work too. Mm-hmm. Everyone has a different perspective on shadow work. I'm glad you elaborate on that. Yeah. And I will also say, listen, honey, you see me up here in this bright yellow. Okay. I just don't operate with all this, like everything is just so hard and terrible energy. I just don't do that. Are there difficult things? Yes, there is. Yes, there are difficult things. A lot of difficult things. There's ugliness. There's evil. There's all of that. But the goal is to not stay there, and let that energy overtake you. The goal is to sit with it, feel it, understand it, and then move forward with the lesson from forth it. That's what you're supposed to do. At least that's how I teach. And that's my doctrine. And the lighthouse knows that that's how I operate. I'm not all about this. We finna sit up here and be locked up in the room for 30 days. We're not going to do all that. Because you're not processing. You're reacting. And that's also another thing. People feel, they're like, this, let me feel what I feel. Absolutely, do that. But you need to be processing. Processing means that there are steps and there are actions being taken to get to the next point. Okay, that's processing. If you got cheated on and you have locked yourself in your room, and this is the second week that you have not left your room, you've been just ordering food and your family's been having to drop it off at your bedroom door, this is crazy. I'm not going to let you do that. The family got to keep dropping your food off at your bedroom door because you got cheated on, and so now you are locked down and shut down. 2 weeks you ain't left your room. You ain't been wanting to go to work. Now this is affecting your livelihood. And therapy, psychologically, that is considered a problem because it starts to affect your livelihood. That's not functional. So I cannot support that. I can't support it because you're not processing. You're not feeling your feelings, because if you are feeling it intuitively, your spirit team will be telling you what you need to do about it. I can understand a couple of days. I can understand, but all this, we finna be locked down to be angry and upset and into bitterness 3, 4, 5 months. Not gonna happen. And we're gonna just support you. And that's okay. Feel it for as long. No, you need to feel it, but you need to process it. There needs to be a movement of the energy. Emotion. Energy in motion. And that energy is supposed to be moving. It's not supposed to be stagnant. Not supposed to be stagnant. Emotion, energy, emotion. The emotions are supposed to pass. That's why you're not happy every single moment of every single day. That's why you're not sad or you shouldn't be sad every single moment of every day. When you are stuck in a specific energy and a specific emotion, that's when you feel like there's no hope, ain't nothing happening, the walls is closing in. Yeah, because you have trapped that emotion and it's supposed to be moving. What happens if you tap in without doing shadow work? You run into spiritual psychosis, a risk of spiritual psychosis. You run into being lost, to being confused, and meeting more dead ends than actually ways out. That's what happens because you don't even know why you're doing this. You don't even know that or that you've been called to this or why you've been called to do this. You have no clue on where you are if you don't do shadow work. You don't know where you are. You don't know what you need to heal if you don't do that shadow work or whatever work. We gotta come with a new name because I'm over shadow work. I'm over that phraseology. We need to come up with a different name. Listen, Genesis. Okay, we need to find the Genesis. This is Genesis. Okay. This is the chronological work. What has happened? And let's decipher that. Looking like a glorious sunshine. Thank you. Is this who I think this is? Iya Dania. Thank you, Iya. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. So, yes. You don't want to just tap in without having done that path journey work. Oh, wait a minute. Come on, journey work. Journey work. That may be it, y'all. I love that. And you want to know journey is really good because hold up, y'all know I love looking up the origin of the words. Journey. Yes. Oh, the act of traveling from one place to another. I love that. In the journey work, you must know where you began, where you had been in the midpoint, and where you are now. I love that. Honey, you must do the journey work. Doesn't that just carry a different energy? A journey can be long, a journey can be tedious, a journey can be rough, but even the word journey indicates movement. Journey work. I love that. Come on, journey work. Where are you at on your journey? Come on. You got to do the journey work. I love that. Ooh, now this is good, Dania. This is good. Illumination work. Now you know the lighthouse. Wait a minute. It may need to be called illumination work now. We got to put up a poll. I love that. Illumination work because you're bringing those things into light. I love that. Come on, poetess. I love it. Shadow seems so hidden. Shadow seems hidden, and because of our connotations with the shadows, we automatically think about darkness and evil and negativity. It just puts us there. Not that the darkness is really that, but it just puts us in that space. So the journey work. Yes, I love that. I love that. Come on, journey work. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. And if you're journeying, it's movement. That's good. That's good. Anything except being stagnant, please. Please don't get stuck. And I'm claustrophobic. I don't like, but listen, I love low-key watching them videos. Some people be deep diving into them caves, they get stuck. I'll be like, ah! But I don't cut it off. I'm like, why are you in there? Get out. Why are you in there? Oh my goodness. Yes. Jax, why did I start whispering? Because it's a secret. I say it like this. I'll be watching some weird, some strange things. People be like, Darcell, what is going on here? I'm like, sorry, it's interesting to me. People be diving in them caves, honey. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this one that I watched. I was like, your head is full of rocks, girl, and pinto beans. Your head is full of rocks and pinto beans. Let me tell you what happened, y'all. Y'all, please, you can still ask questions. It's just me being ridiculous. Let me tell you what happened. So it was a group of I don't know if they were archaeologists. I think they're archaeologists, and it's a specific type of a person. No, they're archaeologists, a group of non-melanated archaeologists who went to this indigenous land, honey, where these people, honey, they were very tribal, okay? And then they wanted to, it was said that in this area, this region, they had like these deep caves or caverns, right? That you could go in and it goes all the way down to the bottom and meets like the ocean. Like it's like all types of crazy stuff. It goes down thousands of feet. And so the natives there said, hey, if I were you, I wouldn't go in there. We can teach you about our culture and teach you about the things above the ground. But the natives was like, hey, yo, don't go in there. I don't think you should go in there. They said, it'll be fine. We have our gear and our equipment. They're like, yes, but we have all these monsoons. And monsoons are all these like ridiculous rainstorms that happen, right? And so they were like, but we done checked. They had all their gears and gadgets, honey, and they checked to see the weather. They said there's no rain in sight, clear skies, at least for today and tomorrow. And we're only gonna be there for a couple of hours. The natives was like, we trying to tell your ass, don't take your ass down there. Baby. The people went down there and they started exploring, honey. They seen all these crystals and things all down into the cave. One lady had a smidge of wisdom, a smidge. She said, I'm just going to stand right here. So she went into the cave, but she just went barely in and was standing on a rock over here. Baby, they got down there. They was only down there for 20 minutes. People went deeper and deeper, and she stayed near the entryway. And all of a sudden, all of this water starts rushing in. You see, what they don't know is that when you go deep into that cave, you are not able to hear what's going on at the surface. And the people try to tell them it's some supernatural stuff going on here. Okay, we don't go into the caves. That's it. Baby, and that water came rushing down. And the cave is so deep, it's a monsoon. It's all of this rain. The rain goes down, the water goes down and sweeps the people all the way down into the depths of the cave, which goes down thousands of feet. And the woman is there on a rock as this water is passing her by, and literally all 8, 9, or 10 of them, I think it was a total of 11 of them, 10 of them got washed down there into the depths of the cave, honey. The woman, it was so much rain that the woman was trapped in there for 2 days in darkness. When it cleared, they had to send a rescue team to get them, to get her. And they only got her, and they said, I'm gonna tell you right now, the cave that y'all went down goes underground and wraps underneath the ocean. The people are gone. The child and woman was weeping and crying, and they still ain't found them bodies. Gone. Listen to the natives. Listen, they know exactly. They know exactly what they're talking about. They said, we trying to tell you, I know you don't see rain now, but I'm telling you, go in that cave and it's going to be a monsoon. And it took them out. Anyway, are there any more questions? It was I saw it on YouTube actually. It was on YouTube. It's a guy, he does videos talking about them. Yeah, you can't be going against the natives. The people know. The indigenous people know. They trying to tell you we don't live here about 89 generations. We trying to tell you. Thank you. Yes, indeed. You've been seeing deers. I don't know what the deers represent. You need to divine on that. Tap in and read on it to see what that means for you. Yeah, yeah. Kia says, um, I gotta start writing my question down. So the next time Darcell go live with ask questions, I'm gonna ask this, and now I forgot. It's okay, Kia. It's okay. I'm actually going to be dropping two new products tonight. Yes, they are going to be some medicinal oils that are made with the inspiration of and the instruction of my great grandmother. Yes, indeed. Lily Laura, honey. Mama Lily. Some good old medicinal oils. One is going to be, there's going to be about 5 or 6 of them released, products released in total. But these oils that will be released tonight, one will be natural for the skin. The other will be for pain and inflammation. Mm-hmm. Dear instincts, intuition, speed, agility, grace, gentleness, devotion. Thank you, Jax, for helping her out with that. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed, child. So y'all make sure to look out for that. Are there any questions? Any other questions? Journey work, yes. Journey work is that is it. Do spirits sound like they did on earth, or do they whisper, etc.? It really depends. It depends. Um, if it is a spirit that is incarnate in your space, you may hear whispering or people like chatter with your fit. Now we're not talking about with the spiritual gifting. We're talking about ears, like you're in this realm, okay, where you're actually hearing like talking or chatting. A lot of times people could hear folks like call their name, you know, or things like that. So if it is, say, you in your grandmother's house who transition, right? And you may actually hear her voice if she is around and trying to communicate with you. So they speak and they normally sound like them, but you can be in the midst of a place that has a lot of spiritual activity and it's like chattering, like somebody talking. I kind of hear like somebody talking, like that. So that does happen. However, when they are speaking to you, it's depends. Sometimes they speak to you and it sounds like you, okay? And then there are times where they're speaking to you and it's like in you can sometimes you actually hear it if you have clairaudience. And they sometimes sound like them. So it really depends. If it is a spiritual ability, it happens in different ways. Sometimes people hear it with their physical ear, and sometimes people hear it in their head. It just depends. I have several spiritual gifts that randomly activate. How to know which to focus on and strengthening. Right. This happens through your meditation. Your third eye meditations will help you with that. Your third eye has to do with your intuition and your spiritual abilities. Okay. And so with meditation, one, I would also say identify what abilities you have and understand this. You are just like a car, right? My dad, when he taught me how to drive, he said, this car is not going to go anywhere that you don't tell it to go. The car is not going to randomly cut to the left or cut to the right. Unless you don't take control, right? So you have to you're in control of yourself, right? You're in control. And you can tell your spirit team, don't be like jumping this stuff out at me. Don't be just sending me this stuff here and overwhelming me. Identify what the abilities are. If you see, if you hear, if you feel, right? And tell your spirit team that you are only wanting to focus on this particular spiritual ability. And that's it. That's it. I'm not trying to be doing all this other stuff. I want to work on it and progress it. And your spirit team will oblige to that. All right. So, but the thing is, it's not necessarily which one should you work on more, as in like which is the right one. No, you decide that, and then you will see which one of those are the most strongest, are stronger for you. Okay, and then you make that decision, but you decide that. You decide that you are in control. Don't think you're out of control because you are always in control. Okay. Let me read this. Can you talk more about crossroads as a spiritual portal? We have to be very careful with the crossroads situation, okay? Because a crossroad is place in which you know, four directions meet, okay? And so energetically it is a center of the four different directions. It's powerful. People, a lot of times you hear people talk about speaking to spirits and things at the crossroads and living things at the crossroads. For the crossroads energies, leave the crossroads alone unless you are specifically trained in that, or if in whatever your spiritual practice is or religion is, that you are spiritually trained at that. Because oftentimes you have people saying, I went to the crossroads to speak to Eshu, or I went to the crossroads to speak to Elegua, or I went to the crossroads to speak to Papa Legba. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, don't do that. There's a lot of trickster energy and all types of stuff going on. So please leave the crossroads alone unless you're trained in that. There's a question. I see you. Let me ask this question. What type of herbs can I use to understand my dreams? One, I have an oil called the moonlight oil, and that can help you with that. But a really great oil is camphor is really great for that. Or not oil. Camphor is great for that, and camphor is of course more so incense based. Jasmine flower is really great for that too. I would say those: camphor, jasmine flower, and even some star anise is great for that. But I have a moonlight oil that is specifically made to help with the dreams. Relatable Slat said, how to let go of cravings. What do you mean cravings? What kind of cravings? Are we talking about like food cravings? What do we mean by cravings? Thank you, Jax. Jax put it in the comments where you could go and purchase some. How do you include younger children, 6 years old, in it just dropped. Let me go. How do you God dang it. How do you include younger children, 6-year old, in spiritual practice? Yes. Start the children with meditation and affirmations. Start them there. Yes, that is the best way to start them into that, because you want to introduce mindfulness to the children first, and self-awareness, and how to encourage themselves, and energetically encourage themselves. So I would say affirmations and meditations and breathing. There's actually breathing exercises for children that you can find. Breathing exercises for children. They have all of that. So I would say that. I would say that. And I would, however, separate from cleansing work, I would, however, not be trying to put the children in any workings with other energies, okay? Because children are really susceptible. So if you're trying to work with spirits and things, unless again that is in your religion and things like that, I just would not do that, because the children are very open, in fact, too open. All right. However, if you can also start the children with ancestor work alongside you, you could have the children, uh, place the water at the ancestor altar. Okay, that's perfectly fine. And put an offering there with the ancestors and talk about the ancestors. You can do that. That works too. But that's pretty much the basis. That's where you want to keep them. Affirmation, meditation, ancestor. That's the extent. Okay. And not necessarily calling them up, but speaking to them about it, placing the water, talking to them, because you don't need for them to be like, Grandma Hattie, I just saw her in my they're not gonna be able to process that well. How do you know you've connected with spirit guides and not tricksters? Okay, very good question. A lot of times the trickster energy happens within dreams. Okay. And it is an uneasiness that is felt. I would always advise you to be mindful and to examine what is being asked, or what is it telling you to do, right? What is like, it should not be negative. Should not be negative, and you should not feel icky about it. You should not feel that way. Your ancestors and your spirit guides are not going to make you feel uncomfortable. Okay, so that's one. Two, in the dreams, this is kind of scary, y'all. So I'm sorry. At in the PM, some for y'all it's 10:43, honey. It's 9:43 where I am. But I'll tell you, I had a dream of a trickster energy, um and it happened. It was trying to disguise itself in the form of my dad. So in my dream, I went to my parents' room, and my father was sitting on the bed with his legs crossed, not like cross regular, but it was like crisscross applesauce cross, and he had on a black coat, and he was sitting in his bed, sitting upright. And I was like, "Hi." And I was like, but in my dream, I said, now I know my father is dead. Like, I know my father has transitioned. So what is this? So I was like, okay, I talked for a little bit. And then I immediately walked out of there and ran down the hall and called my mother. And I said, Mom, now this is in my dream, right? Mom, Dad is dead, right? And she was like, yes. I said, he's literally in his room right now, sitting on the bed. And when I went to call my mom and I'm telling her this, he starts walking down the hallway, right? And he's getting his keys, and he's at the door getting ready to leave, Right. So really, he knew that I wasn't up for the bullshit in the first place. He knew I couldn't be tricked. So he was having to leave. And before he left, I had an urge to call him out. And what I said was, "You're an imposter." Come on, with the 47 people on the TikTok live. That's my dad's number. So this is how I know it's true. I said, "You're an imposter." And I wasn't thinking, like, I didn't figure that out in the dream. It just came out of my mouth. "You're an imposter. You're an imposter." I started screaming it violently. And I grabbed him and I threw him against the wall. And I said, "You're an imposter." And then he cracked this big, ugly grin at me. And I woke up. So that grin, that smile, that is one of the things associated with those types of trickster energies. But my spirit knew. My spirit was like, get up out of here. And I grabbed him and threw him up against the wall. My spirit was not playing no games. My spirit knew, even when I wasn't aware. And he knew he had to go. That's why he left. Mm-hmm. I'm always jumpy and have weird feeling around my cycle. What can I do? I am not so proficient when it comes to womb workings and things like that. That's outside of my scope of practice. I'm sorry. That's outside of my scope. I don't want to try to That's not my thing. Queen Poe, though, may be someone who is excellent to answer that question. I see that. Let me look. Stop. I had a similar dream about my grandpa. Yeah. OMG, my daughter had a few dreams with the evil me, and she said she knew it wasn't me. Yeah. So it's one of those things where, well, what does that mean? So let's start there. One, your children be tapped in. We be tapped in. So when we are tapped in, um, like that, you are prone to that, right? And so what I would advise you to do is to, especially for your daughter or for those of you who struggle with that, I would suggest you get you a bowl, all right? And you put some peppermint, you put some star anise in that bowl, and you place that underneath your bed, okay? Or next to your bed. Or you put in a sachet and you put that in your pillow. And so that helps to prevent disturbing and negative dreams, okay? I would also say to cleanse your headboard with that same wash I said earlier, lemon, not distilled, lemon, water, and white vinegar. Cleanse above your bed, cleanse the doorway, cleanse the room and the space, okay? No, not everyone that you have dreamed about that's passed on are tricksters. No, 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 no. That's not it. That's not the thing. I'm specifically saying when it is uneasy, uncomfortable, and in the dream, you know that something is wrong. Most of the time, when it is someone that um there is someone that your ancestor that's trying to communicate with you or give you information, um you're not thinking actively that they are deceased in the dream. And if you know that they are in the dream, it is not uneasy. It's not uncomfortable. What they're telling you or what you're doing is nothing that makes you feel uncomfortable. You feel peace. And so that's the difference. It is an eeriness versus a peace feeling. That's the difference. But when it's the trickster energy, you always are like, this is uneasy. This is something is wrong. Mm-hmm. Yes. Absolutely. Gotcha. Yes, I know they're deceased even when I hug them. They're oh, okay. Got you. What does it mean when you have a dream within a dream? It's nothing too, the dream conversation is actually layered, okay? You could be that's several questions that have to be asked about that. What is the perspective that you are in your dream? Is it from your view? Are you going different places? Are you seeing it from like an aerial view? Because you really could be astral projecting into different places and different spaces. So it depends on that. And or it could just be a brain occurrence, you know, be a brain occurrence. Who sins or why do trickster spirits show up? A lot of different reasons. A lot of times it's because it is you. You have a lot of negative energy, that is attracting negative energy and confusion. Okay. So that shows up. Two, you are someone who's really tapped in and really powerful and even possess mediumship qualities. And so then energies come to you anyway. So you need to up your protection, cleanse your crown. Have you some white candles, like I said earlier, with the peppermint and the star anise underneath the bed. All of that. Okay. Can we get a video on how to properly cleanse and protect ourselves in homes? Yes, absolutely. Write that down in my journal. And I will make that. Matter of fact, I'll do that next. hmm How to determine if it is time to start looking for a mentor for learning intuitive working. Okay. One, you feel that urge and you feel that pull. But you ask your spirit team, you ask your ancestors, you know, for this, if you're ready for this, and then they will send you the person. You will be scrolling and you will feel that draw on that pull, or you'll be at the store, honey, and you feel that draw on that pull. You will be placed in the environment of your teachers. hmm They appear to you. Absolutely, divine impress. Yes. But also, you feel that. You feel that tug. Caleb asks, "Hi, Caleb. I love Caleb so much. Caleb is so, so sweet." Caleb asks, hey Darcell, I hope you are well, everyone. I was wondering if it is normal when working on chakras to have physical responses. Absolutely, because the chakras are energy centers in the body, right? And so being energy centers, there's also your physical body, organs, muscle system, skeletal groups, all of that is connected to those spaces. So if you are working with the heart chakra, it is very common to feel vibration, heat, movement, energy in different physical parts of the body. So that is absolutely normal. Physical responses, crying happens, releasing happens. Yes, that is very normal. Ooh, child, my hair. Listen, my hair wrap just keeps slipping and slipping and slipping and going back and back. My native ascension says, "How can I hear and be aware of conversations in my dreams in real time?" What do you mean by that? Are you saying that you don't understand what the people are saying in your dreams? Hey, three little brown girls. How are you? Do orange butterflies mean anything in a dream? Absolutely. Orange butterflies typically are about transformation happening. Anytime you see a butterfly, it's about transformation. It is also about the solar plexus. So, I mean, solar plexus and the sacral chakras. Okay. So, essentially, some type of transformation occurring or needing to occur within your inner child, or your creativity or your sensuality, or within your personal willpower. Ask your spirit guides exactly which one that is for you. I can hear myself talking in my dreams while I'm sleeping. You hear yourself talking. So you're actively in the dream. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I may not be that fast today. I'm not that fast tonight. I'm not understanding. If I'm yelling or crying in the dream, I can hear it and feel and be fully aware of it at that time. Oh, so you're saying that physically you are aware of what's happening in the dream. So you be like awake and not awake at the same time? Oh, so you be like stuck between that space of being awake and sleep. That's very interesting. So you're wanting to not do that? Or reacts the question now that I understand what you're saying. How do I protect myself in the dream realm? I always wake up with wounds. What do you mean you wake up with wounds? You wake up with wounds? Like you're being attacked? Like you have a dream that you're being attacked and you wake up with a scratch? Is that what you're saying? That should not be happening. That should not be happening. You need to cleanse yourself, honey. You need to cleanse your space. You need to do what I said to you for you with that star anise and that peppermint underneath your bed. That's not good. Nothing should ever be attacking you. If you have scratches and all of that, that is negative. That's a negative energy. That is a negative entity. Okay. That is like that should not be happening. You may need to seek, you do the cleanse first and everything and see how that works. Um, However, you may need to talk to a practitioner to read on that for you and tell you what to do. Okay. Someone says, I have a question or would like understanding. I never hear anyone speak in my dreams. I remember it's like communication is through feeling and body language. Okay. Yeah, that's very so it's more like telepathically. Most of the time that's very spiritual. That's spiritual ability occurring there. I'm gifted and I'm wondering if I'm astral projecting. The only thing that's the problem with that is like you being awake. It's you being awake, like caught between the awake and the sleep. I am not the dreaming in that. I'm not able to be proficient in my response to that. But there is, I always will refer to you to someone that I think knows more about this particular thing. Um, the Queen Poe, who I talked about earlier, has a video about lucid dreaming and astral projecting and all of the differences. So go to her YouTube and watch that because I'm not well versed on what it is that you're asking. Oh, Caleb, I love you too. Thank you. Okay, I appreciate the answers. Been working on the throat and heart and feeling the effects. Good, Caleb. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Is there a way to cleanse yourself spiritually in the shower daily? Set the intentions over water. Yes, you should be doing that. You should be doing that. Yes. Water is the most powerful thing we got here. I was gonna say one of, but it is the most powerful thing we got here, honey. It's the oldest thing. Water is traditionally used in nearly every single culture as the optimal spiritual cleanser. So absolutely, you can do that. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, child. And I felt like my body was trying to be pulled up out of my sleep, but I never go. I felt like someone was pulling me, but I didn't see anyone there. But I felt like my leg was being pulled. That's why I said we got to get the cleanse together, y'all. Y'all should not be getting yanked and pulled and scratched and all this stuff. Y'all should not be doing that. Please cleanse yourself. Please talk to a practitioner, honey. Get a reading done on that to make sure that this is not a negative energy attached to you. Is the ringing in my ears really a sign of ancestors wanting to communicate? If so, how? Yes. So, yeah, we should not be windmilling and boxing in the sleep, y'all. Y'all be having to throw hands in the sleep like it should not be happening. Okay. So, yes. A lot of times when you have ringing in the ear or you feel blockages in the ear and things, it's energy changing and moving around you. So it can be your ancestor, it can be your spiritual team. Okay. But that being said, you also want to make sure, though, that it is not high blood pressure because high blood pressure can cause that to happen too. The ringing in the ear. So rule that out. And when you feel that ringing, if you're near your cards or anything like that, divine on it. Divine on it and ask. But high blood pressure also causes that too. But if you have it happening a lot, then you need to do some reading. You need to read on it when it happens. Take note of where you are, what you're doing when it happens. What does this mean? Ask the spirit team, ask the energies around you, what does this mean? And whatever comes to you, drops to you, words, phrases, images, write that down. But I do have to give that disclaimer because sometimes the children be having hypertension. And that's why your ears be like, because we got the hypertension. So we got to be mindful of that. Or issues in your jaw can also cause, yes, 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 that can happen too. How do you keep yourself constantly protected as a spiritual practitioner, especially from envy? Well, you work with your ancestors, you work with your spirit team, you work with your energies, and you are protected. And you don't fixate on those types of things. You do your protection work monthly or however you do as you do, and you go about your day. Don't invest in the negativity. Don't invest because that be your agreement to it. Someone is being envious and throwing work and things at you, where you've already, your ancestors have you covered. Your spirit team have you covered. Your energies that you work with have you covered. Don't invest in that. Do your spiritual work with your ancestors, do what you do. And you don't have to worry about that in that way. That's what I'd say. And also, cover your head. Cover your head. Cover your head today. Yay. Well, cover your head. Cover your head. Cover. No, I didn't just follow you. That's probably a fake account. That's a fake account. Keep it covered in red. All right. There you have it. I'm sorry. Goddess Beauty. I'm sorry. It's a lot of, how do you heal trauma? Okay. This is a multi-level question. Journey work, formerly known as shadow work, helps you to identify it. Therapist help you to figure out ways to navigate through it. Spiritual coaches help you do that as well. All right. I would say you must get clear about the trauma and figure out the lesson in that. When you figure out the lesson within the trauma, it is much easier for you to be able to go on the healing process or the healing journey from that, because you must change, you must get the lesson out of it so you can change how you think about it and rewrite what that means for you. Okay? Because if you cannot pull the lesson from it, the only thing that instance or that experience will yield is pain and hurt. So you don't ever heal. The healing process is taking the lesson, telling the full truth about the situation, understanding what you knew and what you didn't know at that time, giving yourself compassion, giving yourself grace, getting clarification on what happened and why that happened. If it was abusive parents, understanding that the parents did what it is that they knew how to do. They were abused themselves. And so you do all of that. You get to that type of understanding and do that journey work. Okay. Then you get to growing work. Growing work is separate from healing work. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Healing work is the digging up, the discovery, the realizations, the da-da-da. That's healing work. Growing work is putting what you healed from into practice. Am I teaching today? Growing work is putting what you've healed from, the lessons that you learned from that, into practice. That's growing work. If you learned that you tend to, I don't know, take on other people's projections and trying to prove that you're wrong because, when you was a kid, your parents, your neglectful parents always made you responsible for whatever went wrong, right? And so you've done the healing work in the sense that you dug it all up, realized it was about them and everything, right? And so the growing work is putting that into practice. So that includes your affirmations about you being able to trust yourself, about you being able to do the correct thing and the right thing and knowing to do that in the moment. That includes when you have a breakdown with someone, you catch yourself in real time and say, I'm not going to go into the blame game about me being wrong and doing this. I'm going to correct that thought. Control, Alt, Delete. There could be something that I did do, but I'm not going to hop into sounding like my neglectful parents. That's the growth work, putting the lessons into action. That helps you grow because it helps you defeat the negative aspects still attached to that lesson. Okay. And when you put the lesson into action, you know you have grown, because instead of you jumping to what you would have did when you were hurt and traumatized, you now have a different response. Okay. Healing work is the uncovering. It's raw. It's digging in. It's calling it what it is. That's the healing work. That's where the shadow situation would be. Growing work is once you have extracted the lessons, and you have put the lesson into practice, and you are developing mastery of that lesson through practice. Ooh, child. We're asking the questions tonight. Okay, I'll answer one more question before I have to make my exodus. And if you want to watch this back, y'all, it is live on my Tuba View, which is Darcell Andre everywhere. Mm, 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 mm. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Is that it? No more questions? Okay. Well, good people. I'm so happy that I got to spend this time with you. Um, I'm so happy that you are present here. That lets me know that you are seeking betterment. And you need to congratulate yourself on that, because you could be watching Zeus Network, girl, and the Real Housewives of this, that, and the third. Okay, you could be doing all of that, but instead you decided to sit here. So I love each and every one of you. And thank you for being exactly who it is that you are. I thank you. I missed a few good questions. Yeah, it's really hard because people are asking questions on YouTube and on TikTok. So save y'all's questions, y'all. So when I pop back on here again, you could ask me. All right. But it's hard trying to navigate all of the comments and all of the things. Okay. Little Brow Girl says, when you get that ringing, I'm trying to tap in and find it a little difficult. Any advice? Tools. If your skill level just without anything is not sharp enough to be able to decipher that, get your cards out, child. Get your tools. Get your pendulum. Get your things. Whatever you use, get your tools. Use your tools. And say, okay, spirit team, if this is you speaking to me, then I need you to speak to me this way. Help me to understand what you're trying to say. Use your tools. That way, the spirit can use something physical to show you and demonstrate to you. Yeah, if the pendulum is not your thing, honey, use the I'm telling you, use the cards, honey. Use the cards. Or your tool, anything, whatever your tools are, use your tools. That's what I'd say. Sorry, Darcell. Sorry for what? Are you saying further questions? Honey, there was 10s and 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s of questions rolling through here. Everybody, they'll be all right. Cards come through every time. Just keep them cleansed. Absolutely. Do that. Keep them cleansed. Yes, the cards, every card, oracle cards or tarot cards, whichever ones you want to use. Oracle cards don't really have a set structure, as they're essentially spiritual cards, and whatever the person has made them for, that's what they do. You have oracle cards that are for the moon, like moonology cards, okay? You have moonology cards. You have cards that are just with energy. You have cards that are just about crystals. And every time, all the cards come with a book that lets you know what each card means and the different readings and things that you can do with those cards. What is your spiritual? What is my spiritual what? Oh, what is a spiritualist? A spiritualist is a didn't I say I was getting off of here? Here I go. A spiritualist is a kind of overarching term that encompasses um um varying different spiritual practices, whatever it is that the person, assigns to. But normally when we say spiritualist, we really are meaning not religious. Okay. We really mean not religious. But a spiritualist is someone, it's defined, everybody has their own definition. For me, I'm an esoteric teacher, I'm a holistic healer. Practitioner. I didn't say healer. Y'all didn't hear that. Y'all not finna sue me. Practitioner, holistic practitioner. I practice holisticerization. Okay. Um, Psychic seer, and I operate in that realm of things. But you get to define it. You have your own definition for that. I think it says trying to break through and talk to anyone while you're doing these questions now. Mm-mm. No, they're not. Not to me. Normally, when they do, I will stop and stare off because they're telling me things, but not right now. Okay. I got to get off here, y'all. I love the eagerness, though. And I love, again, the fact that you're here lets me know that you are um, committed to your betterment. And I love that for you. And I love you for doing this and being here and supporting. I'm going to go ahead and get off here because I got some things I got to take care of. And I can't be staying up all the time. There's a video about calling upon our white ancestors for assistance. It's been great, y'all. Good night. I'm not calling on them people. I didn't see that. Are y'all serious? There's a video out there where they're telling the black people to call on their white ancestors for help. Girl, which ones? I mean, if you got a grandma that was white, and you know that she was good, What do you mean, just like the white ancestors in the lineage? You got to call them up, y'all, and say, help me get through this. Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it. She said they helped her in court. Now, but which ancestor? Like, did you just call? Who did you call? To call the white ancestors in the lineage? Like, so she's talking about like the people that like that was forcibly in the lineage to help Dodge. You know what? Hey, I can't tell you which ancestor to call on. If you want to call on Dan, okay, and Aunt Emily, do that. If you want to call on Grandpa Trevor, great Grandpa Trevor, do that. But get somebody else to do it. Yes, Queen. Queen Post. Somebody called their white ancestors for justice work. It is the irony from if you want to call, stop. My name is Emily. Okay, hold on. Let me find another one name. If you want to call Trevor and Olga, that's that's enough. I just get somebody else to do it. Just get somebody else to do it, honey. If you want to call Isabella, girl, get somebody else to do it. Please. If you want to call Penelope, then you can do that. I'm not calling. I'm not calling that. Olga, they call the Russian ancestor. If you want to call Mama Madison, then hey, that's you. But as it comes to me, that's not gonna happen. Exactly. The Lama Damas help with justice. I just not gonna do it. I got too many ancestors that I could call that's actually helpful for that. I'm not calling on that. Not gonna happen. Get somebody else to do it. What I'm supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? Yeah. Uh-huh. What's the problem? What is you doing? You. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. I'll be right back, y'all. child, I'm back. Sorry, y'all. Ooh, I'm back. What y'all been saying here in the comments? Y'all been down here windmilling it out? Not a damn thing. What y'all down here talking about? But that's what I said. If someone's mother was white or their grandmother was white and they took care of him, we having a different conversation. But the way it was phrased was like the white people in her lineage period, she called on them to help them or to help her. That's true. That's interesting to me. But I'm not gonna shame or shun anybody if that's what you want to do. Now, am I gonna advise that? I'm not. But that is rather strange to me, as that a lot of the people um were forced themselves into the lineage. That's exactly what she was suggesting. Okay, she was suggesting the people in her lineage, period. Any white people in her lineage, she called them. That is strange to me. If the mother or the grandmother or the father or the grandfather and y'all were close and you, that's different. But to just call the collective whiteness in the lineage, considering that, we have the racists, we have a lot. That is wild to me. And this was a Black woman that said this. I gotta watch it. I want to understand her. I want to understand her context. That just sounds strange to me. That's just strange. Little strange. It is not the concrete. It's what I call on the thank you. I don't know. I don't know. But she said, and then my thing is, what do you put? I ain't gonna get into it. I'm like the altar, like, what are you putting up there? Like, how do you? Okay, saying Sheila, please, because I would like to hear it. And I don't ever want to be coming against a practitioner or anything. I'm never doing that. I just want to hear that because that sounds like a very unwise thing to do. Even your aunt, listen, and even every Black ancestor ain't right. So but I would rather run the risk with my Black ancestors than I would just calling the collective whiteness in my lineage, no matter how it got there, come forth. Get somebody else to do it, Lord. You still gotta say, yo, listen. Only the ancestors know the unknown is working for my highest good, period. Stop. Listen, hey. I do have to go, y'all. I do have to go, but I do love y'all. I saw this video. Yes, Saint Sheila, please let me know what that is. Please. Hi, Profoundly Fresh. Greetings. Not white cake and martinis. Not putting white sheet cake and martinis on the and I gotta go. Bye. I gotta get off of here. I gotta go. Bye, y'all. I gotta go.